Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Journey. We just started with the reset. We're going to go through here. We're going to do some bosses, answer any questions that you have. We've been making a ton of progression in this game, and I know a lot of players are really loving it. It is such a very smooth, well put together game. I am pretty impressed. Want to run through again a couple different game modes, and we're going to start with our bosses. Now, Soul is already here. Thank you for joining us, Soul. Now, I went in the Dream Realm. I went through a couple different bosses, went through a couple different stages. You can see we're at the top 31 right here. This is incredibly difficult. Now, one thing to remember is we are on server number 1, which means that the competition within server number 1 is very high. Even here, we're at 5.8 million damage on this boss, but I kind of went through and looking at a couple different teams. I started with Rainier. Now, this, of course, is one of the best in slot teams that we see. This is running Rainier in here, and we have a guide where if you have the meta teams with the Hippos or the Celestials, or if you don't. So this was one that we were actually running a couple different formations. Now, one thing to remember, Rainier, we don't have built very much. And then, of course, Cassidy, we don't have built. We don't have the exclusive item on there. So looking at a pretty basic build in here, this is one that we're going to run. So I'm going to drop out Rainier in here. We're going to drop in Kruger, and then we are also going to keep Merrily in here. And this is what we're going to run. Now, also note that within here, we are using the Star Shard. Now, everybody and every boss within here right now, based on the artifacts that we have, are running and is running the Star Shard, building this out a little bit. Now, this, of course, is the best in slot that we have as of right now with a non-hypo team or non-celestial team. Effectively, Rainier is the one that everyone is using in this game mode. So I'm hoping in here that we can make some progression, possibly do some more damage. Now, of course, Merrily, Corinne, and Kruger, the higher that you build them up, of course, the better they're going to perform. And also looking at Corinne and Merrily, the exclusive items that they get are really what unlock their true power. Now, I don't have any of them built at this point, but overall, just looking at kind of the heroes that we have makes a big difference in here with the progression that we're pushing. Now, of course, we know this is physical damage because of the buff that we get from Kruger, but overall, having Odie in here, Odie is magic damage. And you can see burning down the targets pretty quick right there. What's going on, Paco Bear? And Marvin is here as well. Thank you guys for joining me. I wanted to run through, again, a couple things in here. Now, we're over 6 million right there, which is awesome, meaning we're pushing some of the progression. 31 seconds left. So I'm super stoked to see exactly how well we work. And of course, as we're continuing to gain levels, that's really the big thing. That is the damage in here. And I want to see if we can swap, because I believe Thorin is a little bit higher. I think we got Thorin all the way up to 140. But right there, guys, 7.5 million damage on the boss. Pretty happy with that without having some Celestials and some Hypos. So that is giving us 2 more chests out of there. Now, like I was saying, looking in here, that takes us to 13, but I want to see, we can put some better equipment. What do we got? So we want to try to go at least 20. So looking, I'm going to go probably support. So really there's 3 big things that we look for when we're looking at the selection chest is 1, what is going to take you up 20 plus levels. So you can see we have 3 greens right here. And then of course, what are you using? Support, tank, and marksman are a lot of them. Now we do have a couple warriors in there, but overall having the bigger impact either on support or the tank. I'm gonna go in here for support, but I wanna check first on what we have. Because right here, going from 155 to essentially the next level, we're at 160 right here. Then I think it was tank at 155. So we already do have some really strong weapons in here. But overall, I'm gonna go for support. Make our hero Smokey and Mirky do a little bit more out of there. And you can see we're going through here. We've been building out a lot of equipment. It says no available equipment because pretty much we've been forging up everything we need, getting to the point of using a higher level forging stone. And we're literally just recycling in here. But like I said earlier with Thorin, I'm going to swap this out and actually swap Odie and Thorin. This is something really big to remember because having a plus 10 level Odie within this game mode might make a big difference in damage. Of course, there is an RNG factor. Now, what we normally do in here is going through and attacking the boss. We do usually 1, 2, maybe even 3 attacks in here, kind of see where we rank. Then we move to our AFK rewards or AFK essentially ability to build out a couple more heroes. And I'll show you what I mean. So down in this left, I think it's a little bit blocked by the camera. We're going to go in here. We're going to collect up our rewards. You can see 50 minutes right there. We do get one free attempt, giving us 159. of the hero essence. Every player is stuck because of the hero essence, but I do both of the resets in here. There's 158. Boom. There gives us another chest reaching 145. So we might have a random chest in there to actually build it out a little bit. And just like AFK Arena, I'm going to do this one more time. That is giving me what, 450 essence every single day out of here in combination with the 19 we're getting here, which means we're well over getting one level on every hero. Is forging gear really worth it stat-wise? Not really. So the only time that I really forge the gear is if there's a big deficiency. And again, I know we talked to D2 a little bit about this. When it comes to the deficiency and you're looking at forging, going from 130 to 140, is it a big difference? Not really. If I have a piece essentially that's falling behind, where if it's going from like, see, 135 to 140, not a big deal. If you're going at least 20 levels, and again, Soul, this was kind of the recommendation of D2. He said as long as there is a 20 level deficiency between what you have equipped to what you can forge up to, go ahead and forge it up, because essentially you're just falling behind with what you have in there. Now, of course, we'll hop in here. We'll pick up some of our daily quests. Average level of equipment is, of course, going up. Boom, getting a lot of stones. And I want to do some of the summons in here as well. Yeah, 20 levels is roughly, because if you keep doing the little 5 steps, 5 levels, it's going to take a long time to get in there and a long time to make progression. And I believe there is a point, if I remember correctly, on the PTR, that there is actually a point where you can forge your lower stones to higher stones. I think, if I remember correctly, again, I think there is a point when lower stones can go to higher stones. And that is essentially why you do save them for quite a bit of time, is because when you get those lower stones, or when you get the ability to build up the lower stones, you're going to want to build them. Now we got a chest here, which of course, look, heroic order level is too low. We can't even open the chest that we're getting out of there, which is pretty sad. Let's go ahead. We're going to do one more in the dream realm, and then I'm going to wait. Like I said, we're at top 15 right now, doing pretty good in here. But once we go through here, I want to go ahead and wait. So we got Smokey built out. We have Odie built out a little bit further. Been watching your videos for quite some time. Thank you for the tips and help in AFK Journey and Arena. Thank you, Jessica. And thank you for joining us for the live stream. It's awesome to see you guys. Most of you know I love doing the live streams. It's really, really cool to be able to talk to you guys. And literally, you're the only ones that I get to talk to, AFK Arena and now AFK Journey, about the games that I love to play. But I'm hoping that Odie can kick a little bit more damage out of here. And I'm hoping we can get this elite boss down, because then I believe it goes to the Elite 2, meaning that we're going to have the ability to essentially get more loot. Guys, this is a game, and look, they died really easy, or really early in here. Now, this is a game, of course, you have to farm like crazy. It is very, very imperative, guys, that you are farming this game a lot. Because there are so many parts in here that have to be farmed and have to be played every day. If you're missing some pieces in here, essentially you're going to have a very difficult time making progression, because right now, especially with it being a AFK game, or honestly, it's very far from AFK, but with the game itself, you have to grind a lot of it out. And again, if you're missing a lot of it, if you're missing some of the trials, you're going to be missing progression, and it's going to be in a big way. You're going to start falling behind, which is essentially what we started doing for a little bit. We were falling behind for a little bit. I feel like we made some pretty solid progression so far, kind of making up. Now, of course, the confining spell, this is the best one in AFK Journey. The confining spell, you'll see it lock down 2 heroes right here in the back. Crowd controlled heroes are doing no damage, doing no healing, nothing. Makes it easy to get through there. What's the opinion on the story? So I was going through the story. I like the story overall, but I know a lot of people are not very keen on the voiceovers, the voice actors for a lot of the story. I don't know if it really deters from it, but I thought there'd be a little bit more. I like some of the side stories, some of the little things that you can do. But overall, I feel like most players, and just with most games, kind of rush through the story. I think it's pretty good how they're kind of incorporating, even with Iran and Lorzin going into Mountain 5. The story's pretty good. It's pretty well written. Could it have been a little more streamlined, maybe a little bit more fine-tuned? Yes. But I think they put a lot of time and effort into it. I do like the story. I think for a lot of it, it really makes the game. And these are what we're farming, guys, the title essence. And we're also looking and farming these like crazy for essence. Essence is really thing. You think the new hero is a must pull. It's really too early, Huncho. And really, that's kind of something to remember with these games is very similar to AFK Arena is when we drop new heroes in AFK Arena or AFK Journey, it really has to see where they're going to be built because a majority of the newer heroes that we've seen in here, and I'm thinking even down here when we got like Rias was added, when Brion was added, some of them not really had, or this is Ryan, I think it's Rias was added. A lot of the heroes never really made a place, Huncho, within the game itself. So we're going to have to see exactly where they kind of fall into, if they fall into anywhere, because it's also kind of weird. And again, this is something that we were kind of discussing earlier, is how a majority of the boss team, so when you start looking at the major boss battles, a majority of the heroes in there are of the A tier, they're not of the S tier. So again, it's a little bit different with kind of how they're built, or how the heroes in this game are built. It's a little bit different again than we've kind of seen in the past, where there is such a strong focus on the A tiers. What guild are we in? We're in Vanguards. So Huncho, it is a guild that we made right off the bat when we actually started in here. When we first started, this is a guild that D2 and I started. It's still weird in here that you can't put spaces in things, and you can't have more than, I think it was like 8 characters or 10 characters for a guild name. So it's super limited. We were going to do Furry Hippo Vanguard. We were going to do Furry Vanguard. We went through a bunch of different names, landed on just Vanguard because literally just Vanguard was the only thing that would fit, which was kind of silly. I think just like AFK Arena, you can most of the heroes depending on the situation. Yes. And the other thing to remember is what is really big about this game is number one, you get pretty limited summons. So similar to what we've seen on the PTR, you're not getting a crazy amount of summons, which I feel like we get kind of an exponential number of summons when it comes to AFK Arena. That really isn't the case here. It does take a considerable amount of time to build a lot of stuff up and honestly get the summons done. And that you really have to focus on key heroes within the wish list, which again is really, really big, building out some of those key heroes within the wish list. Because again, if you're missing some of the primary A listers, and even some of the S listers, like when you look at a hero such as Thorin, if you don't have Thorin, you really, really will feel the pain. You really do. If you don't have, and again, similar to some other games where you can get by with some of the sub DPS, you know, Shakir, looking at Vela, looking at a couple other heroes, you can kind of get through, or Valen, you can kind of get through most games with just kind of the regular run-of-the-mill heroes. When it comes to tanks, you have to have tanks. I've noticed in time and time again where 1 tank or 2 tank, if you don't have the tanks, good luck. Guys, it is incredibly, incredibly difficult to get through a lot of the content if you're not running multiple tanks, or if you don't at least have one very strong tank. You literally just get run over. It's like a paperweight on how important tanks are within this game, which is the big reason why, you know, a lot of the tanks like Granny doesn't really do very well. Even looking at the Wilder tank, Brutus does pretty well for the immunity, but that's really it. So short of tanks, really Thorn's the one. I wonder what the release schedule will be for heroes in this game. So Soul, it has to be slower. You know, we kind of talked about this quite a bit. The release for this has to be slower because you're not getting as much loot. You're not getting as much summons. It's taking a lot more time to build up these heroes. So if they started releasing heroes every 2 weeks, you would be astronomically, honestly, you would be so far behind, behind essentially the summons so fast. It would be hard. It'd be really hard to keep up. Because even again, I really feel this pain with a lot of the free-to-play players. If you're coming in here free-to-play, again, it's very hard to make a lot of progression as a free-to-play player because the summons are pretty limited. And again, that's kind of what we're seeing from a lot of different places is it's hard for free-to-play to make progression. It takes a lot more time. Thorn is the most comfortable to use, Brutus, because, yeah, and those are the two. And even a lot of times where if there's a burst team, but again, this is what we're looking for, guys, where if there's a burst team, even throwing Brutus up literally just as fodder in the beginning makes a big difference with how essentially it's going to work within here. I do the same right here with Granny. I let Granny go up, take some of the damage. Then, of course, we get Iran or crowd control there. But if we can get Iran to ult to kind of pull everyone together, makes a big difference. And, of course, Vela. Vela in a lot of different game modes does incredibly well. And the thing is, if you're fighting Vela, if you're fighting Cecilia, chances are it's going to be incredibly difficult because Vela is such a high burst hero. As you can see right here with Arden, she literally just one-shot Arden and that was it. It was lights out for Arden with one shot from Vela. One lucky critical hit will literally just burn somebody down. And I wonder if I got enough essence. Are we close? We are. We did get another hero over. 150 right here. Again, we're trying to make a lot more progression. I'm going to go ahead and throw this on Cecilia. Get her built up a little bit further. Now, again, experience-wise, we have 31 million experience. So we're really not struggling for experience at all. But like we said before, with these is you can swap. So if I'm going to go in here and do the Graveborn Tower, I'm going to make sure my primary 150s are Graveborn. The rest of them are going to be kind of 1 and 1. But going in here, let's hop in this Graveborn Tower. And again, we want to farm up some of this essence. But now we have 2 Graveborns essentially at 150. We have 3 that are at 140. And it's going to be regular progression. This game is so much more complex than AFK. Yes, so that is one of the big reasons, Soul, why I really love this game when we were playing in the PTR was the ability to change essentially the dynamics within the teams based on where the heroes are essentially placed. Because and a lot of times what I'll do is if they have a strong formation, like let's say this was Brutus right here where Shakir is, you can actually move some of these heroes around, making sure essentially that you're going to have an opportunity to take down a hero, even stacking these heroes on one side. Brutus is going to come up on this side, which of course is going to go right on Thorin. If you actually go through where they're coming in the other way, everyone is going here on Thorin, so we know Igor is going to be. Now, if we needed to, we could actually split this between tanks if there's too much damage in there, but I'm stacking damage on one side to actually take out Shakir pretty quick, which I'm hoping, or they're probably going to go on Granny. But if we can get some crowd control up really early, and Thorin goes down, I don't have the support in here. I can try Naru. Naru every now and then will work pretty well, but usually once we get Cecilia up with Mr. Carlisle, we can burn down the rest of the team pretty quick. Another one that players really underestimate is Igor. Igor is one, again, that does incredibly well in this game mode. And even Igor, we could swap it up like this. Now we're splitting the damage, but you can see here, they are stacked on one side. So I'm going to go ahead and stack a little bit of damage on both sides as well. That way we know we're not targeting Thorin. As you can see, based on that, yes, it did go to Thorin, and look at that right there. That's what we talk about Vela. Vela literally just one-shot Cecilia, moved over to Viperon. Same thing, took out Viperon pretty quick. What is going Aquarium? Aquarium Brawl Stars. I had to look at that real quick and see what that is, what that name was. Thank you for joining us for the live stream. We're trying to hit 40. 40 is really the place to hit in here because if we can get all of these towers essentially to 40, now we have the Mauler Tower. And also remember that Maulers and Graveborns are the strongest heroes in here. So let's see. So let's go ahead. We'll drop Odie in here. Where's a good, let's do Brutus. I'm going to do Brutus as a tank. So we're going to run Coco in there. It's pretty different than AFK Arena, where, of course, like I said, our strongest are the Graveborn and the Maulers, where we know AFK Arena, the Maulers are very challenged. Here they work incredibly well. They are very well versed in here. And I'm going to run this through. Let's go ahead. Last time I ran this, we didn't have the confining. Hopefully we can hit 40. I'm a YouTuber. What's up, YouTuber? The fellow content creator is in the house, especially on PvP. Igor can be annoying. Yes. So if you get down to, a couple different heroes, Igor is a nightmare. Igor is honestly a nightmare, especially if you don't have enough damage to take him down fast. He is very, very tough. What is your channel name, Aquarium? Aquarium Brawl Stars. And what game are you playing? AFK Journey? A lot of players that come in here don't even play AFK Arena or AFK Journey. So let me know. Can I ask, should I max Lavatoon or Damia first? Personally, Lavatoon. I would go in there. I would build out Lavatoon in AFK Arena. Absolutely, I like Lavatoon. I like Lavatoon's ability to buff. Both of them you're going to build. Honestly, Aquarium, both of those heroes, Lavatoon and Damia, you are going to build both of them 100%. You're going to build them. After Liberta, they are an absolute priority. There we go, guys. Some more Tidal Essence as we continue to build these out. And I'm hoping, again, farming out this way, that we can get some summons. This is what I'm looking to do is farm up these, get some diamonds, get some summons, get some builds out there. I play both of them. Yeah. AFK Arena and AFK Journey, very, very good. That is awesome. They're two fun games. And I do like the crossovers. I do like how they carried some of the AFK Arena heroes over to this game. I think that was a really, really cool move, almost bridging between two games. And a lot of players are also wondering if they're going to bridge back, essentially. If we're going to see heroes that are released in AFK Journey, essentially reach back and going back to AFK Arena. That is kind of yet to be seen exactly what is going to happen with that. Now, one hero in here that I really did underestimate as well, not only Igor, is Coco. So if you're familiar with Coco right here, the tiny support hero in the back, Coco is really, really strong with the ultimate ability. The Ainz crossover, yeah, that would be kind of crazy if they did. I still like how they made. Yeah, I like it. I like it how they did it. They're both fun, but since I play AFK Arena, I've abandoned my alts. I did the same, Aquarium. So AFK Arena, most of you know if you follow the channel, I'm down to one single, and that is my YouTube account. I play the FHG YouTube here. Over on AFK Arena, it's the FHG YouTube. Time constraints. That's exactly what we got kind of stuck into. And what is going on? John Wick is in the house. John Wick, definitely. I have seen all of the movies, including the kind of spin-offs for John Wick. John Wick is awesome. Keanu Reeves, love the John Wick series, love the John Wick movies. Very cool. And love from the UK. Thank you. AFK Arena and Journey take a lot of time. Yes. And I agree with you, Aquarium. That's why, again, I had 6 accounts. We went to 5. We went to 4. Dropped the factions. Went to 2. Now, unfortunately, we are at 1. We are at 1 at this point, again, just because of the time constraints. Even then, most of you know I do have a finance channel as well. Finance channel got monetized yesterday. I was sharing all of the excitement with D2. So finally, we have both channels monetized, which finance is what I do professionally. That is my career. We do for personal finance, financial counseling, all of that. But overall, it is something that is very, very cool. There we go. More essence. And I'm wondering if we're going to be able to push some more of these heroes. What's up, bro? Hope you love the videos. Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely love the videos. And a lot of players were wondering if we were going to still be playing AFK Arena as well. And yes, in its entirety, guys, I've played AFK Arena for 5 years. That is not going to change with AFK Journey coming out. We are still going to play both, and we are still going to play both like we always have. It's a ton of fun. It's a ton of fun. I am stoked and ready for the stream tomorrow with AFK Arena, just for the simple fact of what we have coming down the pipeline with the dragons. I really feel like it's going to be pretty sick when it comes to AFK Arena and the Draconic that is coming over. So the dragons being released in AFK Arena. I want to see how they do it. I've given, already feedback. I've seen a lot of the data mined kind of storylines that have come through. I'm excited to see. I want to see what is going to come. And I think I'm going to drop out Shakir when we get stuck here. I feel like I'm going to drop out Shakir for a little bit. We can put Kruger in here. I do have Kruger built up a little bit, but Odie is just mad. 5 kills right there. Guys, I focused on Odie from the beginning. Not a regret at all. Odie is one you 100% want to build. Like I said, I'm going to put Shakir in here, or excuse me, Kruger in here. That way we can get some of the debuffs up on Thorin. Physical defense buff right there. I'm Peggy main in AFK Arena because I got 8 copies in a month. Peggy's pretty good. A lot of people diss Peggy, but Peggy can work pretty well, especially earlier game. Works very, very well. Is it standard start time for the AFK stream? Yes, it is. Yep, in the morning, I do have swim with my daughter, but after that, so yes, it's going to be the regular team, so that's going to be a regular time. That is going to be all set. That's going to be all set for tomorrow. I like the Peggy main. Again, a lot of players, so I love heroes in AFK Arena and AFK Journey that have the ability or possess the ability to essentially have ads or have summons like Peggy. I love that ability. It's very, very cool. I've played it literally for every game that I have. It's really cool. I do like that. All right, guys. So farmed up the Legends Trial. Let's see what rewards we get out of here. Boom. We get some more of our emblems or our builds out there for our artifacts. Friend gift. There we go. Same server. Someone just joined us from the same server. Noble Path. Of course, we got what? 5 more battles. Got another milestone, which gives us just some gold. Now, gold in this game, not a ton of use for. John Wick 5, that would be awesome. And I think they just need to kill the series if Keanu Reeves leaves. Yeah, but absolutely, he has to stay. Now, Arcane Labyrinth, I was farming through a little bit. Arena, I've been farming up quite a bit and really pushing to make progression. Let's run through this really quick. And again, here we can swap up some of our heroes because I've built essentially a lot more heroes since we started this. So we want a tank. We have double tanks right here. But even thinking of tank-wise, let's take out Entendre. I'm going to put Lucius in here. Insufficient tier. Who do we got? 1, 2, 3. I'm going to put Heowen in here as well. And of course, Marksman. Let's put, who do we got in here else? I'm just trying to think of the heroes. We have a couple because I know sometimes we're going to have a challenge getting through some of those end bosses. Brutus, of course, even though he's a warrior, we're going to go in for a tank. Should be good. Should be good to get our 3 cards out of there. Can I join your guild when we have a slot, Aquarium? So D2 and I put a message out a little bit earlier in our guild. You have to be active. The moment that someone is going active, we are starting to remove people. 1, if you're not active in the guild, you are going to be removed. This is your fair warning. Number 2, if you go AFK, the exact same. You are going to be removed from the guild. It is going to get there. Almost maxed Rainier and AFK Journey. Rainier, pretty good. That's a lot. 1 copy to Supreme. That is a lot of money. Did you just buy it all, Aquarium? Let me know. Let me know if you're just going ahead and buying them. My favorite hero is Solus because of the Floral Specters. Yes, Solus I like. Solus is, of course, the first Solus with the flower with the Floral Specters. I liked, but they really did her wrong until the Awakened. And how do you remember all the abilities of heroes? It takes time. So honestly, and I'm getting to the point of AFK Journey. If you guys have noticed, I'm starting to get the names down. It just, honestly, Aquarium, it just takes time, and it does take quite a bit of time before you get in there. And again, just going through the names, going through the skills and abilities, some of them very similar, kind of the roles and responsibilities that we see of AFK Arena, even looking at Brutus. A couple of these, Smokey I've used for the PTR, and still, Smokey is awesome. Yeah, almost Max Rainier in Journey. He has 1 copy to Supreme. How did you get him? Let me know, Aquarium. How did you get all of those extra copies of Rainier? Let's go with the Relegate. Now remember, you only get 4 relics in here, but this right now, especially at this level, shouldn't be any problem going through here. Shouldn't be very hard to make some content in here. And I think a lot of players, when you look at Timsia, the crowd control that she provides is phenomenal in a lot of different game modes, looking in PvP. The crowd control is phenomenal. I'm active, but I'm on a different server. But shout out to D2 and yourself, plus in server. I'm in top 10, so not bad. That is awesome, John Wick. That is really cool. My friend Bry's informing me. Oh, that's pretty cool too. We won't talk about how you butcher AFK Arena. Yeah, I always do, Soul. So it's funny because even in the very, very beginning, I knew the names. I've even talked to Vulcan about it a couple times. You know, we've had some conversations about the names because I know the pronunciations of a lot of heroes' names, including how I pronounce a lot of the heroes' names. It's always a struggle. And I knew going in, I mean, I'm from, Northern Michigan, right on the border of Canada. We're about 30, 45 minutes from Canada. The pronunciation, I knew it, so coming out, that we'd have that conversation. I think the guild rank was around 30. I think it was around 30, Huncho. And most of the players in the guild are free to play. D2 is free to play, and D2 is crushing it as a free to play player. Yes, but a majority of players are free to play. Again, we're not coming in here to spend a ton of money. We're not coming in here to be, super, super competitive, because that's exactly what it costs to be competitive within an AFK game. It has a very big price tag. For me, Rainier carries a lot, but I don't know how he works, and lazy see the abilities. So the big thing with Rainier is the teleport ability. So that was really the big one, Aqua or Aquarium. When you go into battle, if Rainier is linked to another or next to another hero, they will switch places with the opposing hero, which means you can drop support on your side while putting a very heavy damage dealer on the enemy side. It's a really, really cool way that it works. He also does some different abilities, but overall, that is probably the coolest one that we see, is kind of the broken ability in Rainier. The CS Smokey Odie is top tier. Yes, they are absolutely top tier, John, in all of the game modes. On AFK Journey, it's not necessary to whale. It's refreshing seeing how different free-to-plays they are. Yes, absolutely, I agree with you. What's your favorite new hero in Journey? Oh, that's a tough one. Let's do this one for more attack. In AFK Journey, who do I really like here? Fortunately, yes, AFK, it's not Rowan. I would say it's not Rowan. In here, I would say probably, I would think Smokey. Soul, honestly, I'm probably thinking Smokey. And the reason being very similar, if you guys know the story of Rowan, Smokey has done essentially what Rowan does. Pretty much. And I mean, that's kind of what we're seeing. So Rowan carried me for a ton of AFK Arena, and on the PTR, Smokey was the one, because even then we had Smokey, we didn't have Coco, but Smokey has absolutely carried me for a ton. And then of course really continues to be a staple in all of the formations. Tank, Thorin, healer, Smokey. Short of that, kind of depending on who you have. $100 spent in each AFK Arena and AFK Journey. Thanks for explaining. Yeah, Rainier's really cool. I like Rainier too. I got one copy of Rainier, which unfortunately doesn't give us enough to be essentially very effective in game modes. He's not doing enough in the game modes. I'm absolutely going to have to bring him up or build him up a little bit. Rainier is, man, not a big upgrade. So the big thing, David, is when you have him built. Now, this is kind of what we've talked about before, is when it comes to this game, when you look at, Corinne, when you look at, a lot of heroes, they really unlock when you get their exclusive item. So that is one of the very big things for a lot of these heroes. The exclusive item just amplifies their damage, which is the reason why a lot of players have focused on, out of those epic summons, to actually build out and get the A-list heroes first, because we want to get them to unlocking that exclusive item. Once you get them there, they work exceptionally well. I regret picking them up. I wish I saved up the tokens. So I know a lot of players, David, were the other one was that Danila. There's another celestial hero that a lot of players are getting, that a lot of players have said work incredibly, incredibly well. There we go. So after being healed, we got Smokey healing. But a lot of players were saying, and I think it's Dionel, if I remember, Dinel, that a lot of players were saying that that hero specifically, again, works exceptionally well in a lot of content. You're better than Vulcan Games. No, not at all. I love Vulcan. Biggest shout out to Vulcan. I've known Vulcan for 5 years now, guys. It's kind of insane. When I started AFK Arena, he was already doing AFK Arena. We did some collaborations. We did some collaborations with Lilith. Content creators, YouTubers, guys, we all have our own style, and I love his style. It's really, really cool. I love the laid back personality, and of course the Aussie attitude. Yeah, again, not better than anyone, honestly. Let's be honest. I like playing games. He likes playing games, and I know he's making a career out of it. I have no intention of making a career out of it. So it's kind of different, but again, nothing but love for the content creators and Zero, and a lot of the not only the visual content creators, because I know Zero has done a ton for AFK Arena, but there's so much content, so much stuff to do out there. It's awesome. What are the epic and rare build Mauler heroes I have to build? So looking at Mauler heroes, Odie and Smokey, those are the two. They are Ika. They are the absolute biggest two within AFK Journey. They are broken. Smokey is absolutely broken. Now, I don't make any more progression in here. I'm not too worried about the leaderboards. I just quit. I'm not spending my time and my effort to go in there, but that is 3 more summons. I want to do some summons in here. See if we get, so essentially what I do, Dream Realm, want to make sure we don't miss it, do 2 or 3 battles in there, hop over to our AFK progression, again, see if we can grind out anything, see if we can get some loot, some gear, see if we can get some heroes out of here. Now, a lot of the battles, so the open world, we're getting to the point where these battles are significantly hard. As you can see, the red teams, it says it's a difficult battle, and I just get wrecked in those battles. So I'm not even trying them right now until we actually gain a couple more levels, because we are getting completely wrecked. In your opinion, what's the best comp for AFK push? Recently used Rainier, Cecilia, Coco, and Rowan. That's good. It depends, John, who you fight. So if you're running Coco and you're running Rowan, they work well, but it depends who you're fighting. Because if you're fighting a burst team, that is going to work very well because you have Coco and you have Rowan in there. If you're fighting a team that you might need another tank, and I've actually changed it up a couple times, even looking here, as I've run Thorin with Brutus, I've actually ran, again, some of the different combinations of heroes just based on the ability that I need a lot more. My tanks getting rocked or actually decimated. Again, it's going to make a big difference. Yeah, Rainier, Smokey, and that's it. There's going to be some swaps in there. Some of them I've even ran 3 support heroes, or there's even one where I run double tanks with triple, essentially 3 heavy damage dealers to burn down some of the heroes. But looking at Maulers, so Maulers in their entirety, Kruger, you just need 1 copy. Kruger, really, if you have 1 copy, that is good. But looking again at our Maulers, getting 1 copy of Brutus will work as well, but building out Odie, building out Smokey, building out Coco are really the big ones. And then, of course, if you can get some copies of Shakir, Shakir does a ton of damage as a rogue, also has the ability to keep himself alive. He's best in slot in some of the Dream Realm. But again, I haven't gotten lucky with copies, but there's a few in here that are really, really choice Maulers to build out. All right, guys, so let's hop in here. Now, Vela, of course, we have 2 days. Not going to go in here with my diamonds, not going to do the summons. Epic recruitment, we have 24 epic scrolls, which means I drop Thorin in here. I need 1 copy of Thorin, guys. I still need 1 single copy of Thorin. If I can get 1, I can actually build them up higher, which is going to be game-changing for this. Then, of course, we have all of our A-listers in there, hoping that we get some copies of Odie, fingers crossed. I want Odie, and I want to pull 5 of his out of there. Which there's Corinne. Okay, we'll take 5 of Corinne. But I tried going back and forth. I tried the A-listers, and look at that. We got a double, guys. We got a double gold out of there. That is awesome. That is 10 copies of Corinne. That is 5 copies of Marilee. That is a really, really good summons. We got those really, really solid, guys. Corinne, of course, Corinne and Merrily, they are the ones that we have said before. When it comes to the signature item, having that exclusive item makes a really, really big difference for both of those heroes. There's Sylvana, which again, Greyborn Tower, Sylvana's a good one. But that is all of our summons in here. All hero recruitment. We have a lot of diamonds. Fingers crossed again. We have 43 more. We should be able to knock some of these out of the park. I'm hoping, again, wish list, we have our regular heroes in here. Let's see what we can do in here. Love to see some of those S heroes very early, because we didn't get Thorn, which there we go. It is another one. We had 43 summons left till we got the S hero. Who did we pick up? We got Shakir. That's the second copy. We have only literally pulled this hero once. Then, of course, we have Double Arden and we have Damon, which not too worried about them. That's okay. So there's is another one. The Wilder support, we are getting a lot of love with the Wilder support. There's Thorin. We got Thorin too. Guys, this is streamer's luck. We all talk about this all the time. There's a copy for Odie, but there is a copy of Thorin. And I think we have what? I think this might be our last summons. There's a copy of Coco. I can absolutely use that too. Last summon, what can it be? It is going to be 3 purples on this one. Boom. There we go. Odie and Coco again. Can I build up any of those? Can I get them built up a little bit? Yeah, that was some very, very nice summons. I am happy. I am very happy. Yeah, 4 golds and 40 pulls. That is awesome. So like I said, Thorn, we are looking for this additional one. Boom, there is Legendary Plus. We have to keep him alive, guys. Thorn's normal attack and skill increases energy recovery by 24%. Energy recovery is increased by an extra 6% when resurrection is not triggered. Now, of course, here I'm spending my acorns because he is my tank, guys. There is Mythic Thorin. This is going to allow me to progress a lot. Now, of course, in here, we're going to go ahead and level this up. We want to make sure we're giving him as much energy recovery as we can, because again, he is my primary tank. That is awesome. Yeah, just crushed it. I go buy some lotto tickets. Yes, I definitely should. And look at that, Marco joins us as well. Thank you for joining us, Marco. I even had to get a new mouse. I bought a new mouse today. I wore my other one out playing AFK Arena, so definitely had to pick up a brand new mouse. Then, of course, we did get 10 copies of Corinne. There is our Legendary Plus. I believe, there we go. Haste is increased. We're 1 away. We are only 1 away. Again, because we use this hero, I'm going to go ahead and use these, boosting up the haste, and we are trying to get him to the point of building out or stacking up that item. So actually getting him built up again a little bit further, but building out and getting this Mythic Plus to unlock that. Now, Legendary Plus, again, we need 1 more copy in here. Coco gets a build as well. That, of course, is going to be big for building him out. 8 more copies there. That's okay. We'll get there. That's really big. We got some really big pulls sold. We pulled 4 gold pulls and 40 pulls, which is crazy. That is absolutely crazy. Who else do we have in here? There we go. Yeah, we got that second copy of Shakir. Now I'm thinking Mauler Tower. That should probably help a little bit. And of course, we're going to go ahead and build them up. I got a lot of acorns kind of built up. I know some players are saying save some of the acorns, but overall, the ability to get a couple more mythic heroes, I am all about it, guys. We are starting to stack a lot of these heroes, getting a lot more mythic, also getting a lot more of our Legendary Plus. I'm happy. That is awesome. Those are some really, really solid pulls out of there. More diamonds there. That's what, another 300 diamonds out of there. Man, that was some good pulls. I am very happy with those pulls. Now, again, I could go through here, Legends Trial, and this is the reason why Dream Realm, why I circle back. So we go in here, we play like we normally do, we push as much as we can, make progression, go through the campaign, the overworld, and then I come back and I circle right back into my AFK progression, because essentially with the heroes that we get or the teams that we built up a little bit further, chances are we might be able to make a little bit more progression. So I go through here, I auto battle once I build. Now, of course, Thorin being stronger, I'm hoping is going to help, but you can see he still died relatively quick right there, but that's okay. We will get there, guys. It's going to, yeah, exactly. That's what we were saying, Soul. It was absolutely streamer's luck like we normally see. Might have to play around with this one a little bit. And a lot of times, like we said earlier with the team, John, a lot of times you can swap around some of these heroes. So even swapping in, let's say, another support hero in here, even if we drop like a Coco in here, a lot of times we can keep Thorin up a lot better. Even if we drop like a Rowan in here, if we can keep him up, because we're running double support, which there he still went down, but Naru also went down. Of course, Smokey went down. We got the entanglement. A lot closer. See, we should be able to get this one down. Could I was gonna say, can Smokey do it against Rowan? He could not, though. Yeah, even here, like I said, drop out Coco. We could drop like a Rowan in here. Just looking at the card again to kind of keep Thorin alive, because he's gonna take big burst damage. Boom, drink a potion. See, Smokey's keeping him up a little bit better. Drink another potion. There we go. Got the retaliation. It's going to be big. Look at that. That was a big, big retaliation. And this is why we said, when you come in here, there's a multitude of ways that you can do this, depending on the team you're fighting. That's the big thing to remember, John, is you can kind of game it. And we wanted to make that progression because, of course, for our essence. Now, of course, it tells you what is coming next. But based on here, again, we have tank. We have tank. Okay, well, we could probably swap this out. We could probably go with another hero in here and continue. Fun fact, exactly the same stage as you are right now. Very nice, Timer. So Timer is joining us on the stage. Even having Thorin built, we're not doing the best with the progression here, but we're still pushing it, guys. We're still making stage by stage. What's going on, Aquarium? Welcome back. There we go. 606 bites the dust, giving us more resources, more gold, more everything. We need more levels. We need more essence. We need more levels. So even when I log off today, we log off tomorrow, or log in tomorrow. When we log in tomorrow, chances are the AFK rewards are going to be there. We're going to continue progressing, doing the exact same thing. And this is really the rinse and repeat. We talk about the AFK games. This game, a lot more right now, I would say kind of an active AFK game. I wouldn't say this game really is AFK. If you're truly, it has an AFK element, but if you're truly running AFK, it's going to be incredibly hard. There's a new essence boost. So the new seasons, so there's a couple different things that they're saying are going to be a boost in essence. Because remember, with the new season, if you've seen the notes, you have to be on level 240, resonance level 240. Nobody's there. Nobody's even remotely close to there that I'm aware of. I'm sure there's a lot of players that kind of whales that can go. Yes, is it going to be worth it? Can you make some progression in there? Yes. But overall, the progression is hard. It takes a lot of time. Yes, I believe there is an essence boost coming, and they're wrapping some of the essence around events, which again, kind of goes hand in hand with what we've seen with AFK Arena. Some of the essence boosts, some of the things just kind of based around or built around the same types of things that we've seen, which again, I think that's exactly how they're going to kind of play it off, is we're going to see some of the essence built around there. God's gift is Jesus. Thorin is just pixels. Yeah, I definitely agree with you. Thorin is just pixels, but he's a good set of pixels. I think he really is a good set of pixels in there. You think it's worth buying a dimensional and AFK? I do, Aquarium, and the big reason is the resource returns. That's the really the big thing. When you look at the resources, the sheer cost of resources, if you're going in there for a hero, yes, I really do think the dimensionals are well worth it because of the return. And there we go, guys. That's another stage. Boom. There's another 3. That is right, John. We got 3 essence, which is awesome. Yeah, it is the pixels we needed. And I know sometimes we see some spammers. I can just block them if we need to. Sometimes it's a single message like what Sarah dropped there. But overall, like I said, dimensional heroes, yes, I feel like they are worth it. And I bought the dimensional heroes, and we budget for AFK Arena and budget for Journey now. You know, we didn't stay free to play. We picked up the free copy of Rowan, but we got the monthly cards. The monthly cards really good in here, and I like having them. It's really cool to have the monthly cards. It gives you the regular income. And as me, as a daily player, as an AFK player, both of the cards are good. Just again, because we get the steady income. If you're not going to be playing this game every single day, if you're just going to kind of play here and there, not really a need for the AFK cards. But I like the value. I like the return in them. I think it is really well worth it for the AFK cards to spend $4.99. Yeah, I do like them. That's what I buy out of every AFK game that I've played. We have done the exact same. We have went in there and we have bought the monthly cards. I like the benefit of them. And this one, Timsia, we're fighting here. And then, of course, we have Lucius. Temple cards are hard in AFK Arena for Awaken. Yes, so that is about to change, John. Which is it's going to be interesting. If you catch the stream tomorrow, there's a couple things that are kind of rumored around the whole Draconic, around the whole Dragons. And again, if you're going to join the stream tomorrow for AFK Arena, there's going to be a little bit of some knowledge dropping over there, because we have some things that are coming, some questionable things that are coming just from the data mine, just from different places. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how this new system, or what this new system looks like in AFK Arena. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. That's all I can say at this point. What time UK will it be? It's 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm not exactly sure the conversion there. Get some more diamonds, get some more summons. But we stream every Sunday AFK Arena at 1 o'clock. And we're going to be doing that exact same tomorrow, guys. We'll be joining it for the stream. So now I'm thinking almost we're at the point. Are these still red? Are they still saying that they're difficult? Yes, it is still red. Might still be hard. Now, of course, guild. Let's talk about the guild for a minute. Battle drills. This is something you have to be farming for your guild every day, or you're going to screw your guild. There's no other way to put it. There's no easy way to put it. If you are not going in here, if you are not doing these battle drills every day, you are hurting the progression of your guild, period. You have to be doing these, guys. You have to be doing these on a daily basis. If not, like I said, you are ruining and you are really holding your guild back. And you don't want to be the one doing that. You don't want to be the one holding your guild back. I don't know if this team's going to be enough to do damage in here. I'm going to have to see. I'm going to have to see if we can get through all of our enemies. Honestly, a shame Lilith doesn't sponsor you with at least the monthly cards, considering the value you bring to the scene. Yeah, it's okay, Marco. I'm not too worried about it. I'm stuck in AFK stages. Riku, that's what I am too. As we've seen, like I said, I farm the AFK stages at the beginning, go through all of my progression, and look at that. We couldn't get through here with this team, but that's okay, because we almost got through there. That one is almost done. Let's go ahead. I'm going to drop my regular team in here. I didn't think that team was going to be able to do it, so let me drop Thorin in here. We'll put Cecilia. Now, this, of course, is more of the regular team that I run. There we go. We'll be able to get this one down probably pretty easy with this one. New cards in AFK Arena will make a lot of players quit. I don't know. We say this. I know. I know, Marco, and that's kind of my fear. That's kind of my thought, which is kind of crazy. Which server are you playing? Server number 1. We are on timer. We are on server number 1. We started this literally even a little bit. We had a preemptive release for the content creators. We actually had access a couple hours before. I think it was like 4 hours before. As a content creator, they let us hop in here a little bit early timer. So we hopped in. We farmed out a little bit. I'm trying to kill some of these hard enemies. That way with my strong team, then I can fight kind of the easier enemies with the rest of the team. Or if there's guildies that can't take out the hard camps, me and D2 have focused on pretty much everything guild-wise that is more difficult in here to try to take out. But yeah, I want to see the new cards. And I hear there's a couple different cards, Marco, which again is going to be pretty interesting. And honestly, just like we've said before, there's a lot of different ways that they could roll out this new system to AFK Arena that is going to be good. There's also a lot of room, unfortunately, for error, where they could just make this a very, very heavy pay-to-win system, which I don't feel a lot of players would be very happy about. But again, we're going to have to see. We're going to have to see. Should I try to get Cecilia to Supreme Plus? You know what? I like drawing it. I would. And the reason being, when you look at teams, when you look at big picture teams, She does incredibly well when you think of the crowd control. So thinking of Cecilia, especially when you start getting multiple teams, because AFK, the AFK progression goes to multiple teams, guys. If you're not aware, if you haven't got there yet, so your AFK progression actually goes to multiple teams. I forget exactly what level, where you're going to need Cecilia in there as a crowd control to support your tanks. Also, she does essentially a lot of damage. You're going to have to split damage between multiple targets, and you're going to have to provide. And the reason Cecilia is so strong is with Mr. Carlisle. It is the crowd control that she offers in there. She does decent damage, yes, definitely, but the crowd control aspect in there is the game changer to actually go through there and beat stages. You have to. Yeah, I would. For Cecilia, if I had an opportunity to get Cecilia built up, and I should probably swap out some of these heroes, yes, she is good. Even going there supreme. Normal attacks to trigger agonizing puncture, which of course is the defense penetration. You're going to put her damage much, much higher through there. What's the best hero? Honestly, in here, the best hero, I think Odie. This would be, I like drawing, this would be my absolute first choice for best hero. The reason being, Odie is broken and Odie is prevalent in almost every game mode. Now, the big thing with Odie is this. Odie immediately defeats poison dart enemies when their HP falls to a certain level. If you're familiar with AFK Arena, when you have the Soul Reaver, he has the ability to auto kill enemies. That is massive, guys. You talk about AFK stages, you talk about even going through campaign stages. Auto killing enemies is massive. It's huge. PvP even works well because, again, auto killing enemies is awesome. That is awesome. And he's not very hard to build. Other than that, I do like Smokey. Smokey and Mirky, as long as you're not getting crowd controlled, works incredibly well. Another hero, again, when you think of support heroes overall, Smokey and Mirky, definitely number one. Coco does incredibly well. Even Heowyn, a lot of players like Heowyn. I don't use her very much, but Rainier, just because of utility-wise, does pretty well. But overall, Smokey and Coco do very, very well in a lot of different game modes, which I like. I really do like how they are built and how they do work together. I think I got maybe a chest in here, or maybe another level. We're still at 4 right now. Again, we're capped at level 4. But the guild is making progression. We're at 50. Did we go drop down a lot? Level 5 already. We're at 50. I thought it used to tell us 132. Oh, that's the expedition. So it's going to change in everything that we're doing. So honor duels, yeah, that's going to make a big difference. But overall, guys, yeah, buying some stuff out of here, getting these stellar spheres, super difficult. Now, Odie, there we go. Oh, I can do it. He's been the one that I've been focusing on for a long, long time. There we go. Boom. Mythic Plus, which of course, exclusive equipment unlocked. We got the equipment. Heart Crusher unlocked. That again is going to be very, very cool to see. Odie immediately poisons the target when their HP is low. Boom. Let's go ahead and build this up. We have a couple of those. I'm going to go ahead and build it up. What do we got? 2? Let's do 2. And again, thinking game modes, he's going to do a lot more damage when it comes to the bosses. There is Supreme Plus to unlock the enhanced force. Yep, we're going to have to get him there. Again, when triple tap hits a poison target, increases the damage. Odie is looking awesome, guys. Any whales on your server? 1,000 yet? Yes, David. There are a lot. It's insane. Cammy, I believe Cammy, if you're talking about 1 million power, I believe Cammy was 2.5. I think it was like 2.5. There are a couple players that are just massive, that are just absolutely crazy. Analytica Danger Gray, another one. I think it's KIAM, if I remember correctly. But yeah, there are a lot of players. Danger Gray is another one, just absolutely crushing it. But there's a lot of players that are just doing insane, that are doing insane amount of progression. But I believe, again, there's a couple heroes, if I remember correctly, that were like 2 million plus, that were north of 2 million. I'm thinking, how can you just search for players? There we go. We got a lot more diamonds in there. I'm trying to think. Yeah, it's really that guild are... Yes. So right now, I believe guilds are not cross server. I believe that is exactly what we're seeing. But yeah, there's some whales. And I knew David coming in, being on server number 1. We decided to go with server number 1, but we knew there were going to be some really, really big whales in here. And there are. There are some massive players on server 1, massive guilds again on server 1. I mean, we're at what, what's that, like 2 million? I think we're around 2 million. And I love how they do 2,433K is all that we have there. Again, I'm going to go through, I'm going to run some more of the Dream Realm. Definitely do the Honor Duel, get the arena all cleaned up, do some more Legends Trial, because gaining a hero like Odie, I feel like we're going to be able to make some more progression. That is awesome that we got enough copies. Again, we need, what, 20 of him to get Supreme Plus. That is a far, far cry away, but we'll get there. You know what, guys? We haven't been playing AFK Journey very long to go ahead and make the progression that we get. It's good they don't, because yeah, it would make it way harder for free to play if it was cross server, but we are getting there. All right, guys, before I forget, before we're all done, let me go ahead and do the membership gifting. I think we have enough in there to do the membership gifting. Oh, it might be very, very close, which I think we do. And we do this every time we do a live stream, AFK Journey, AFK Arena. We're going to go ahead. We're going to do the membership gifting. That's going to pop up in just a minute. And Vlad is here. What a ninja. Didn't even see him anywhere in here. And there we go. So there is the gifting of the membership. I love doing this every time we do our live streams. It's really cool. So Vlad was hanging out with us today. I don't think he said anything the entire time. Probably too busy playing AFK Arena or AFK Journey. But guys, that is going to do it for our Saturday night live stream. Thank you guys for joining me. It's awesome to see how well this game is progressing, and really, honestly, how people are receiving it. It was a big question mark when we played on the PTR, when we were going through a lot of the content, exactly how well the game would be received in comparison to AFK Arena, in comparison to some of the other titles that Lilith put out. But I feel like this game is tracking very well. A lot of players are happy with the content. We know that seasons are coming. Frey is unfortunately sad face over here, which is funny that people are doing this. I'm waiting for them to just go ahead and nerf it. But we're making a lot of progression. We are in right now Mountains 5. We should be able to clean this up in just a little bit to get into, of course, the next stage within here. We are getting close, guys. But all right, so that is going to do it for tonight's stream. Got a lot to clean up. We also have the Awakening Hero, or the Awakening Monster, that is coming very soon. We know the first Awakening is all done. We killed the boss. We got the loot. Primordial Lord right here is awake in 4 days and 21 hours. But all right, guys, so again, that is going to do it for today's stream. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Thank you guys for joining me for the live stream. It's always awesome to come in here and talk about some AFK Journey. Have a good night, be safe, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow.